Hello, welcome to the channel. I'm John Peters. I'm a therapist who's been working for over 25 years with thousands of patients with mindfulness based cognitive behavioral therapy. And in today's video, I'm going to talk about the top 4 reasons that when you tried meditation, it didn't work for you, and how to correct for that so that you actually get the benefits. Okay, so in today's video, I'm going to talk about the common reasons that people report that they tried meditation, but it didn't work. And I have talked with so many people over the years. When I interview them, when I initially start working with them and ask them the types of things that they've done in the past, it is a very common thing that people have tried meditation in different forms in order to have better well being, to deal with anxiety, to deal with depression and things like that, improve their mood. And, meditation has been very, very popular for decades. So a lot of people have tried it, but the most common thing that I hear from people is that they tried it and it didn't work, so they dropped it. And this is unfortunate from my perspective because, as you know, if you've watched my other videos, I am a strong proponent of mindfulness practice for many reasons. And I'm not going to go into all that in this moment, but I think it's one of the easiest ways to quickly get very good benefits of lowering your anxiety, improving your mood, and there are a host of other benefits. And again, you can watch the other videos on my channel to see further discussion of that. But in this video, I want to focus on the reasons that people tell me that it didn't work for them and how to correct for that if this is true for you so that you can get the type of benefits that you want to get out of mindfulness and meditation practice, right? So, reason number one is that people often try a meditation technique and it's the correct one. It's one that we reasonably would think would produce the types of results that they want, but they don't do it frequently enough. And so one of the things that's really important to understand about incorporating mindfulness practice in a way that you can get the benefits quickly, and by quickly I mean once you start within a week or two, is that you need to be doing frequent sessions. So after you do it for a while, you can play with doing less frequent sessions and see what the general pattern is that you need to maintain the benefits. But in the beginning, you need to be doing literally 4 to 5 short 30-second to 1 minute sessions per day. So for the first 2 to 4 weeks, I recommend that people do really, really short sessions. So this means the overall time that you're doing per day is actually not going to be a lot of time. If you do 4 1-minute sessions in a day, you have spent 4 minutes of your time doing it, right? But 4 1-minute sessions are going to be way more beneficial to you at the beginning of your practice than 1 4-minute session, right? Or every other day doing 1 8-minute session, right? Or every 4 days doing 1 16-minute session. You want to do smaller bits, but more frequent at the beginning, right? After you have done this for a few weeks, you can reduce the frequency and increase the per session amount of time and find out what is optimal for you in terms of your lifestyle and also the overall daily total amount that you need to do in the overall, let's say, weekly amount too. Because, not everybody meditates 7 days a week, right? But, in general, in the beginning, you need to be doing 6 to 7 days per week and you need to be doing short, frequent sessions. So another common issue is that, and this is related to the one that I just talked about, people sometimes get enthusiastic about meditation practice and also think about, the general recommendations about doing a lot and it being dose related. And people want to jump in with too heroic a dose at the beginning. So when people try to do 5-minute sessions, 10-minute sessions, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour of mindful breathing or mindfulness meditation, then that is too much because as I've explained in my video about how to practice, and I'll put a link up here. Um, the issue with meditation is that you get a lot of benefits because it is paradoxically soothing, but it's also paradoxically challenging. And because of that challenge aspect, which is normal, if people jump in with really big sessions to start with, that means that you're going to get too challenged too quickly. And part of what you have to learn in the beginning stages as a newer meditator is you have to kind of settle into your mode of dealing with that challenge. So if you think about, you know, let's say you went to learn racquetball, right? Racquetball is going to be a challenge because you've got this little ball flying around and you've got to like try to focus on it and hit it and get it to go where you want it to go, right? That might be enlivening if you like racquetball and you're enjoying learning the sport. But if you go and you say, this is so wildly enjoyable, I'm going to sign myself up for a 9-hour session. I'm going to put myself in the racquetball court. I'm going to play racquetball for 9 straight hours. That's not going to be fun because, however fun the fun part is, the challenge part is going to quickly like flip you over into a net negative experience, right? So if you think about meditation that way, and this is part of the reason people do this is that people think meditation is just going to be all positive in terms of the subjective experience moment to moment when you do it. And it's not. And if you actually experiment with it, you'll see that that's true. And because it's a mixed bag, which it should be, and again, you know, when I in the video where I explain why meditation works, I'll put a link up here. You need that challenge in order to get the brain fitness effect that provides the most valuable benefits of meditation. So, so anyway, I don't recommend that new meditators decide that they're going to sit down and do really heroic long sessions because that challenge aspect is just going to make it so not fun that you'll give up and you won't persist with it to the point where you start to realize the benefits, right? So another common thing, number 3, is that people sometimes do it correctly, but then because they don't understand the why, as I mentioned, then they think they're doing it wrong and they give up, right? So if you haven't been doing very much meditation or any at all, and then you think, okay, I'm going to do some meditation, and then you find the right technique and you're doing it exactly 100% correctly, as I said, one aspect of meditation is that you will feel challenged in the middle of the meditation session. And a lot of people, when I ask them, like, why'd you stop? Why didn't you persist? And why did you think it was failing for you to provide the benefits, or why'd you give up? A lot of people will say, well, I did it and it didn't work because the way that they evaluated the experience of the individual session was what I should have felt is like some super open, clear, calm state of mind. I should have been pervaded by waves of cosmic bliss, you know, like it was supposed to settle me and yet it didn't. And that's because probably if they were noticing that kind of experience, they were probably doing it correctly, but they were interpreting the experience of it incorrectly, right? And so you need to expect, if you are going to experiment with meditation, if you're going to do meditation, if you will persist to the point where I would reasonably expect you to start enjoying the benefits, you are going to find that the individual meditation sessions are a mixed bag and they do include some challenge. And we need that to happen. Just like if I go to the gym, I need to report back, yeah, it was challenging curling that heavy weight when I was doing the curls to make my biceps stronger. If I didn't have the challenge, I wouldn't get the fitness effect, right? If I go to the gym and suddenly they replaced all the weights with 4-ounce weights, right? There are no 10-pound weights, there are no 15-pound weights, they're all little tiny little weights. Then I could do curls all day and not really realize a lot of increased fitness of my bicep. Meditation produces its effects because it actually does challenge your brain while you're doing it, but in really good ways, as I've explained in other videos, And that's what gives you that rewiring brain fitness effect that you get. Okay. But some people have that notion that, oh, it's supposed to be la, 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 soothing, super calming, and my mind is open and clear. It doesn't work that way. And so if you interpret it that way, you're going to think you're failing even when you're actually succeeding. Okay. The fourth issue that I have encountered when I interview people about, who have tried meditation and decided it didn't work for them is that they were doing the wrong kind. So I'm going to talk about this in other videos. I'm going to make a video about like guided meditation versus mindfulness practice. But essentially, you should know that not all types of meditation do the same thing, right? So let me give you 3 examples. I could do mindful breathing where I'm calm and mindful of my breath, and every time I breathe in, I say in, and every time I breathe, I say out. So that's method 1. Method 2 is I'm doing mindful breathing, same method, except when I breathe in, I say 1. When I breathe out, I say 2. When I breathe in again, I say 3. When I breathe out again, I say 4. And I count up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1. I start back at 1. If I do that method versus the first one, I have to have some concentration going while I'm practicing. And that's that's going to produce some different effects, right? Which is why I recommend the former method rather than that one, because I don't really want to challenge that concentration part of the brain too much with beginning meditators. But it's a different type of meditation. And then another type, which is more different, is guided meditations. YouTube is replete with thousands and thousands of guided meditations. There's an app that I actually like, and I'll put a link down in the description. Insight Timer, which is a great meditation timer, but has like 100,000 free streaming guided meditations on it. And I'm a fan of guided meditations, but guided meditations soothe you, but because you're in a passive receptive mode and not the process mode like you are with the first 2 forms of mindful breathing that I just described, you're not actually challenging your brain very much. Because you're not challenging it, you're not going to get a lot of that brain fitness effect, even though guided meditations are pretty reliable. If you find one that you like the voice, you like what's being said, you like the little background sounds and music and things like that. Guided meditations are very reliably soothing, right? Like I talked to a patient recently who has been using that nightly to help her go to sleep and sleep well. And every single night she listens to this particular guided meditation that she found that's very soothing, right? That's a great use of that. But if you're expecting to get some of these other benefits that I've talked about in terms of the brain effects, the rewiring of the brain, guided meditations don't tend to produce those effects. The mindful breathing, like the first 2 types I just described, do tend to produce those effects because, again, that challenge that you experience in the middle, you don't get that with the guided meditation. So those are the top 4 main reasons that I hear when I talk to people about why, when they tried meditation before, they ended up deciding it didn't work, and thus they didn't persist with it. But if you have had a similar experience, I encourage you to think carefully about how you're relating to the practice, how you're doing the practice, and craft a method that's actually going to work for you. It fits into your lifestyle, and it's the type of meditation that's likely to produce the types of results that you actually want, right? So for me, mostly I'm recommending mindful breathing to people to help them handle stress better, to lower anxiety levels, to improve their mood, and to help them sleep better, and get some other types of benefits that, in my mind, based on my decades of personal experience and decades of experience teaching it to thousands of people, mindful breathing is the best one to do that. If you want to put in the least amount of time and get the maximal benefit, that's my vote, because I have yet to learn about a form that's easy to teach and easy to practice, and that gives those benefits from such a small amount of practice. So if you like this type of content and you like this video, feel very free to hit the like button below. Thank you for joining me on this channel, and stay tuned for additional videos.